we have here some students from across language school, and maybe some of you are just going to be our students in the future. Anyway, so today, actually, a couple of as for the couple of previous meetings, we have changed a little bit the format of our speaking clubs, and now we have we invite the guests, the speakers who have experience in relocation or in working and living in different countries. Yeah, and today I'm very happy to introduce a business analyst, Rustem Agzamov. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
I think that, Rustem, you can introduce yourself better than anyone, so please take the floor. And can you tell us a couple of words about you, please?
Yeah, hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. My name is Rustem Agzamov. I live in Turkey, in Antalya. I relocated here in January, this year in January. So it's almost 1 year here. And so shortly about my background, currently I am a lead business analyst at EPAM Anywhere, and I've been in IT since 2006. Yes, right after I graduated from the university and got my diploma in computer science. So I began as a software developer, as an in-house software developer in 1C framework in Ufa. Afterwards, I also worked in 1C franchise, 1C partner company as a developer, and afterwards as a development team lead. Then my career transition was to project management. I was a project manager implementing ERP systems, 1C based in ERP systems in Rostec government corporation, and also I was a project manager in Mercedes in Moscow region. So we implemented the ERP system and all the integrations between 1C and SAP and other systems for the Mercedes-Benz plant, passenger cars plant in the Moscow region. That was my first international project experience that helped me to find my current job also. And afterwards, I was a functional architect, 1C functional architect in one of the top 50 integrators in Russia. And my current position is lead business analyst at EPAM Anywhere. So that's currently my current position, and I'm excited to be here. So I hope you will benefit from this meeting, and it will help you to relocate to Turkey, or decide if you really want to relocate to Turkey or maybe some other country, or maybe stay as you where you are right now. So I'll be as honest as possible, so to show all the advantages and disadvantages, so that you will get the most objective picture of the relocation to Turkey.
Thank you, Rustem. Amazing experience, amazing story, and I'm sure that our participants will have their questions. Yeah, so please ask your questions anytime you want. You can just turn on your mic and ask your questions online, or if you're shy or if you don't want to interrupt our speaker, you are very welcome to use our chats. You can use the Microsoft Teams chat and also the Telegram chat. But I should inform you that as soon as we finish the meeting today, the chat in Microsoft Teams will disappear. So if you want to share some links, if you want to ask some interesting questions, you are very welcome to use both chats, but please keep that in mind. Okay, anyone? I think no one has questions so far, so let me start. And
Hi friends. Yeah. I have the first question. My name is Dmitry. The questions about tax. What about tax in Turkish, and how is big if we compare with tax in Russia and Belarus, and
Thank you very much, Dmitry. Thank you for starting. And I should note that the tax question is always very urgent. It's one of the most interesting questions. Yeah, everyone asks this question every time. So please, Rustem, if you have anything to share about taxes.
Well, that's a tricky question for me because my company allows to work not being employed in the Turkish office. So let's say I have a tourist residence of permit here in Turkey, and it's absolutely legal to stay here and work for another country. So many people do like this, and including me as well. So I am employed in another country, and what about Turkish taxes? It's let's say it depends. Well, it depends, and it's progressive tax. The more you earn, the more you pay tax. So that's everything I know currently about the Turkish taxes.
And
Okay.
another question, sorry, maybe you work in how ordinary employer, or you work how individual entrepreneur or other?
I have a regular employment contract, so I'm a regular employee having all the benefits of being regular employee, including sick leaves, including vacations, and so on. So I would position Turkey as a great hub to live and to work remotely. So it's absolutely good and fine location to work remotely for whatever country you can work for and stay because as I mentioned, it allows to legally stay here and work remotely.
And for how long can you stay there and work remotely? For example,
yeah, please go on. Please go ahead.
For example, for a person who decides to change something in their lives and they want to move to Turkey now. So for how long can I stay, or can any person stay in Turkey if it's their first trip, let's say?
Yes, so I will be speaking about the country that, which is I'm citizen of, it's Russian Federation. So for our citizens, the rule is that we can stay 60 days when we after we enter Turkey. So we don't need any visa in advance. We just need to have international passport valid for 4 months, so 120 days. Prior your entrance to Turkey. So your passport should be valid 120 days or longer when you enter Turkey. It's very important. But after you enter Turkey, you have 60 days to decide if you want to stay here or you maybe want to leave. So if you leave, you can just stay your 60 days and move out from Turkey. But if you decide to stay here, what you do is you rent an apartment for a long-term period. Long-term means 1 year. So you rent an apartment and you get a residence of permit. It's a tourist residence of permit, allowing you to stay here for 1 year. Or also, it's possible to take this residence of permit for 2 years as well, but it's a more rare practice for now. So common rule is 1 year. But of course, you have to have your passport valid for 1 year as well for that purpose. So that's the case. That's my case actually. So I entered here and I rented the apartment and applied for a residence of permit and got it for 1 year. And the rule is like that you every year you extend your residence of permit by extending your rental contract. So that's the procedure.
Yeah. Okay, Dmitry, thank you for your question. Yes, please.
Okay, Rustam, hello. My name is Nikolai. And hello, beautiful across trainer, but I don't know, in your name, it's not written how you
Yeah, I said in the beginning, yeah, my name is Nadezhda.
Nadezhda. Hello,
Nice
Nadezhda.
to meet you, Nikolai.
Nice to meet you too. And my question also, if I right understand, you are Russian citizen.
Yeah, I am.
And if you are Russian citizen, you have a half-year period to pay 13%. I don't know. NFL, it's like personal taxes, if I right.
Income tax, yeah.
Income tax, yes. But if you stay somewhere outside of Russia for half year, you have to pay 13, like 30.
30, yeah, right.
Percent. And what's your stage nowadays? You cross this if you live in Turkey for half year, I suppose since January it's exactly more than half year. Your employer have to pay for, instead of you in Russia, 30% and take it from your salary. Is it true or not, and how it works?
Yeah. Thank you, Nikolai. That's a good question. The rule is that if you are working for a Russian company, you have 6 months until you pay, and after you stayed 6 months outside of Russia, you start paying not 13 but 30% of the income tax. So when I entered Turkey, I was an employer of a Russian company, a Russian IT integrator, and I also talked with our HR department how we will do that, and what they said is they have a solution for that. So there are ways to solve it, but the situation is that I quit my Russian company and joined international company. So my employment is not in Russia now, and that is why it's not applicable for me. So I don't pay any tax to Russia now. So it doesn't apply for me anyway. But in this case, you have to talk to your employer, because they should know how to deal with that in advance. So, but definitely there are some ways. A lot of people work for Russian companies and stay here in Turkey.
But it's connected not with employment. I suppose if you have some investment, for instance, I don't know, Tinkoff investment, you have to pay 30% for every income in Russia. It might be a problem if you have citizenship and live outside of Russia for a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your note.
Yeah. I'm talking only about income from the salary from Russian companies. But if you have other types of income, let's say rental income, investment income, so yes, they are. You should pay the new income tax. So that's it.
Yeah, depending on the legislation of the Russian Federation. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. And another question also related to renting apartments. Rent apartment is not enough to rent apartment for 6 months, right? Do we need to have contract for 1 year? A contract, do you mean, Nikolai Rasputin, do you mean the contract, the job contract, or the contract for rent apartment? It's not quite clear. Nikolai, if you are here, please, can you make yourself clear? Okay, maybe let's consider that Nikolai means the job contract, the job offer, which is valid, I don't know, 1 year, 12 months. So, or just speaking about the rent apartment and the apartment rent in general, is it easy?
Sorry for interrupting, that's Nikolai speaking.
Nikolai, hello.
Yeah, Nikolai.
Nice to see you.
Hi.
Yeah. So, sorry for stupid question. My question was related to permission to stay for a long time in Turkey. I'm just wondering, you told us that it's required to have a rent contract for rent apartment for 1 year. Do you think it's possible to have contract shorter, for example, for 6 months? or you don't know anything about it?
If you have this contract for 6 months, you can have a residence permit maximum on 6 months. So
Okay.
yeah, the logic is that you have your residence permit as long as you have the rental apartment here in Turkey.
Okay, cool. Get it. Thank you.
Nikolai, anyway, thank you for your question. It's a nice question, yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask. Rustam, I wanted to ask you a question about, is it easy or is it difficult to rent apartments now? So what are the rules in Turkey now? What is the situation?
Well, process-wise, it's quite easy. But process-wise, I mean, there is a website called sahibindan.com. Let me put it in the chat. It's very
If you
useful
share a link,
site.
it would be great. Thank you.
So this is a website that allows you to search for apartments, for long-term apartments across the whole Turkey, across the whole country, and you can see in advance how much you will pay for your apartment in this or that city of Turkey. And this is process-wise. So you find an apartment, then you find the contact of the real estate assistant, and you can just write him a message in the WhatsApp. So it's very convenient. You can write it in English or in Russian or in Turkish, but in Turkish you can write it via Google Translate. It's absolutely fine. He will answer you in Turkish, and you will translate it back into to your language. So that's the procedure. You can agree on the upon your arrival that you can rent this or that apartment. This is process-wise, but as for let's say current situation in Turkey or in Antalya, especially in Antalya, a lot of people come here to stay for a long time, and what I've heard that flats, that apartments stay for 3 days and then they are gone because they are rented. So you have to be very quick, and the best solution would be you come to Turkey. Of course, you firstly you have your exploration. You see if that budget is fine for you of that particular country. For example, you may say Antalya is very expensive. I would like to move to Mersin. I would like to move to Izmir, and so on. And you, when you decided, you just rent a short-term accommodation. Let's say it would be a hotel. It could be an apart hotel. It's like apartment, but very small, but with all the hotel services. It's very fine for short-term accommodation. And when you come, you just watch that sahibindan.com site, and you search and agree about your long-term accommodation. So you have to be very quick to get this or that apartment. So yes, and I recently helped to rent apartment for my sister, and because she moved here with her husband and kids here, so we are neighbors now. Yes, so but it is harder to rent an apartment now than it was when I did it.
Yeah, that's absolutely clear. Thank you. And well, coming to the basics, why did you choose Turkey? Why did you choose Turkey to move? And why did your sister choose Turkey?
And why you chose it in January? Did you know something before?
Everyone asks that question to me. Did I know something in advance? No, I didn't know anything in advance. Well, so why I chose Turkey is actually we have 4 children, and 2 of them are babies. They are 1.5 years now. They are twins, and we were living in Moscow, and so when they born and they were like 6 months old, it was winter. It was very cold. It was gray, and my wife struggled to wear children, to unwear them, to move them out to the to outside, and we decided we should move to somewhere more warm and sunny, and we looked if we could move to the south of Russia, but we didn't find it too comfortable after Moscow, and we started looking which country could be comfortable in terms of climate, in terms of residence permit easiness, in terms of familiarness for us, in terms of affordable prices, and we decided to relocate to Turkey. It was November 2021. So, but of course, my wife talked to me, let's move, and I always loved Moscow, and I didn't want to move. But when I saw how she struggled, I agreed. So answering your question, those babies were our drivers to move here to Turkey, and otherwise we might not maybe come here, yeah, and stay there. Because when you have 4 children,
why Turkey? Why Turkey? Why not Cyprus, for instance, or Armenia, Georgia, some different countries?
Yeah, actually, Turkey is very familiar to us. We've been here a lot of times, in Istanbul, in Antalya as well. My wife also was in Izmir, and it was very familiar to us. We always loved it. We always loved coming here, but not other countries. We didn't know anything about Armenia. We didn't know anything about Georgia, and so we moved to the country where which we knew. Of course, but I've been in other European countries, for example, in Germany, in Spain. Those are great countries, sure, but they are not as easy to relocate as Turkey is, or as affordable after Moscow as Turkey is. For example, here in Turkey we have babysitter. We have 2 babysitters. You can't imagine in Moscow. We have cleaning here every 2 weeks. We have an apartment which is twice as bigger as we had in Moscow. But in Moscow, we also had a pretty nice 3-bedroom room apartment. So it's much more. For the same budget, you can live with good, with better quality than it was in Moscow in our case. So that's why Turkey.
Yeah,
and
great.
what about summer? Okay, winter is a good time to live in Turkey, but I suppose in summer it can be so boiled, it's so hot weather, and the sun maybe burn you totally, no?
Well, Turkey has very diverse climate, so it depends where you move. If we are talking about
Antalya, exactly.
Yeah, if we're talking about Antalya, when we moved here in January, it was plus 10, about plus 10. So it was a mild, comfortable winter here. But as March, April, May came, as I heard a lot of this scary tales that Antalya is unbelievably hot in July, in August, and I always waited what will happen. And when July, August came, yeah, it is hot. It is hot, but you very fastly you adopt to that. You learn how to live in that hot weather. What you do is you go outside in the morning, you go outside in the evening, you stay in the air-conditioned room in the midday, and that's it actually. And a lot of buildings have here their own pools, and when you go to the pool in your lunch break, it really refreshes you. So I lived for a summer here, and it's absolutely comfortable for me. Yeah. I didn't suffer.
Problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for your answer, Rustam. I agree with you that kids are great motivators, yeah, to do this or that.
Absolutely.
And it's great. Yeah. Congratulations. And as for the people who are outside of Russia now, great news. First snow in Moscow, which doesn't melt, but also it's very, very chilly, really cold. Okay. Okay, and let's discuss the IT market a little bit. What can you say about the IT market in Turkey? Or I know that you still, as far as I understood, you work for the Russian company, yeah? And or for the Turkish company.
Let me explain
Yeah.
that part. I work for EPAM Anywhere. So EPAM Anywhere is a remote job platform, and it is a part of EPAM. And EPAM is the one of the world's largest IT companies, and it works with world's biggest brands and biggest startups. And this remote platform unites more than 3,800 IT professionals, so software developers, business analysts, product managers, and this EPAM Anywhere platform provides jobs in more than 20 countries. So we have an opportunity to work, to legally work in more than 20 countries and to stay there and to many locations in these countries. So we also this company also has its own relocation assistance service. It's very great thing actually, and so I am an employee of EPAM Anywhere. I am an employee of Georgian office. So Georgian office allows to work not only in Georgia but also in Turkey. So what I am doing now is I'm living in Turkey, and I'm an employee of Georgian company. So yeah, yes, that's the answer of the question to if I work or for Russian company or not. Yes.
Yeah, and does EPAM company hire now, or did they suspend or stop the process? If we are speaking about the Russian people, the Russians.
There is no restriction about the nationality of our employees. So yes, you can apply and be hired to the company, but there are some locations where you can work. So you can visit the website anywhere.epam.com. So if you don't mind, I can briefly share my desktop, and you can see that how it works. So actually, I will try to answer your questions by this.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So this is anywhere.epam.com website, and you can see that here are some jobs here. So you can select the location. For example, this is Kazakhstan, Poland, Portugal, Armenia, Georgia, and so on. So for example, we select Georgia. We select our specialization. For example, this developer, your core skill, and your seniority. And you will find here some open positions. So you can apply and you can be a part of our team. So that's the process actually of being hired into EPAM Anywhere. Yes, they hire.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you. Any more questions, please, from our participants? Anyone would like ask their question about life or work in Turkey? Please.
Hello, my name is Konstantin. In which area of Turkey do you advise for life?
Well, it depends on what do you want from your location. So what are the options, I would say? If you want to live in a huge city, in a metropolitan with a lot of activities to do, with a lot of places to go, it will be definitely Istanbul. So it's a great city with a very diverse city, a very huge city. So you can, I think that everyone can find something to do there according to his interest, his or her interest. If you want to have a relaxed, let's say, life near the sea, it is definitely Antalya. But still, Antalya is a 22 million people population city, so you still have here some city advantages. But if it's fine for you to live in a small location, I could also advise Alanya. It is smaller, but it has a community of Russian-speaking people, and it attracts many people. And also, you can choose to some affordable locations, but they will have little amount of your, let's say, of the Russian-speaking community. And I heard that some people select this option, but they return from there because it is very hard for them to not being able to speak to someone that you are used to speak to. Yeah. So it depends. It really depends. But well, in terms of budget, you have to decide if it's okay to live in this or that city. In terms of your preferences, what do you want? Big city life or being on the beach? Let's say on the sea and the beach and warm weather. So Istanbul, Antalya are the two of these options that I prefer most, and I would recommend first as well.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Konstantin, thank you for your question as well. Yeah, Timur, please. Another question. Yeah? Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Timur Romanov is here. Hello, Rustem. I would like to ask one question about education for your kids, because I'm also going to relocate. Currently, I'm in Dubai, but it's a quite expensive city and not affordable for me for the moment. That's why I decided to choose my destination. And yes, you mentioned Mersin. Yes, my next destination will be Mersin, but I have two kids, and education is a quite important question for me, and I would like to know your experience. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Timur. Nice to see you here, and thank you for your question. This kids' education and kids' adaptation issue is the biggest challenge for us, the biggest challenge we faced after our relocation. Yeah, it's so what we did here. I have two kids in the school age, 11 and 9 years old, and we studied in government school in Moscow. And when we moved here in Turkey in January, we enrolled to online Russian school. It is online Urok school, and they studied half a year in this way, online way. That was really challenging as well. It was in Russian, but it was very challenging because kids in this age are not used to do self work. They need some guidance. So normally they get that guidance in school from their teachers, and when they don't have teachers near them, actually what happened here in our family, my wife was that guide. So he worked as a teacher. She checked their homeworks before it goes to teachers. She enforced them to study with tears in there and her eyes. That was dramatically. Yeah, that was dramatic. So that's why we decided to move our children to offline school. And it was also meanwhile we studied Turkish. So our kids studied Turkish with professional teachers and several times a week, so that they can prepare to normal Turkish school. And so from this September, they started to visit. They enrolled and started to visit in a local Turkish private school. Yes, and it's a very good school. We liked it very much with my wife, but our kids struggled very much because their Turkish language knowledge was not enough to understand the lessons. And now they continue to visit Turkish classes, especially for them. And we continue to struggle with this Turkish school. But I also have my friend, my classmate, who is here in Turkey for 4 years. He's in Ankara. What he decided is he gave his kids to Russian school. So that could be also a solution. But here in Antalya, what I've heard that all the places are full, so it's not possible to get your kids to Russian language school, and the prices are starting from $5,000 a year per kid. But the Turkish school is much more affordable and very high quality. So our intention is that, and our belief is that our kids will learn Turkish about, let's say, in several months, and then they will start learning normal school. But for the elementary school and for the beginning of the, let's say, middle school, the program is lighter than it was in Russia. So that's the advantage. They struggle in understanding because of the lack of the Turkish language knowledge. But what they understand, or what their classmates also, so there are some classmates that they know Russian and Turkish who moved here before us, and what they explain to our kids is very simple. So I hope that when they start understanding Turkish, it won't be too late for them to catch the program, because it's lighter here than it was in Russia. But again, to answering to those here who has high school pupils, high school kids, high school is quite hard here. So if you relocate and your kids are in 14 or 15 years old, it could be a bigger challenge. So it could be beneficial for them to stay in online education, because they are more capable of doing that.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. Okay, Rustem, thank you very much for your answer. And just to let you to have a little break, yeah, because before we continue speaking about your life and work in Turkey, I would like to remind you that at our school, at a cross-language school, we have the courses for those who would like to study English. Speaking about learning languages, yeah, it's never too early, as I say, and never too late to study languages, and specifically the English language. So we have a couple of courses, quite long-term courses across English for tech people and across English for ERP systems, across English for IT project management, yeah, for people who would like to work in international companies in the area of IT project management or different ERP systems. And there is also a very nice and short but very prolific course across English for job interviews, tailored especially for those who would like to work in an international company, who are planning, who plans to pass a job interview, or who wants to get prepared just in case. You're very welcome to follow the link. I will share it in Telegram, and to learn more about across English for tech people, for ERP systems, for job interviews, and IT project management. You can ask any questions in Telegram. You can ask me, or you can ask our administrator about any questions related to the courses. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and I'm ready to give the floor again to Rustem. Any more questions about Turkey, life, work, taxes? We have discussed kindergartens and schools, and maybe another important question is about healthcare insurance. I hope that you haven't faced any emergency situation, and you will not face it. But anyway, what is the health system and the medical insurance system in Turkey? Is it expensive? Is it free? How it works? Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, it's really an important question, because normally we, in our home country, we have let's say very good free or affordable medicine and some additional bonuses from our employers. But here in Turkey, what we have is we have to buy the basic medical insurance for the residence permit. So what I said is you have to get the rental contract and also the basic medical insurance. But the situation is that when you face any issue with health, you normally cannot benefit from that basic insurance. So that is why you have to buy extended insurance. Yes, and I really recommend to get that extended insurance, because it covers about 20 or 90% of the treatment and the prices, because the prices are quite expensive. I mean, relatively to Russia, about the treatment, about the hospital, and so on. So it's very important to get the extended life insurance. And if you are working in the international company, so be sure that your insurance covers your staying in Turkey and is valid there.
Thank you. Yeah. Nikolai, I think you have a question, right?
Yes, I have a question. How is safe to live in Turkey? Do you feel some threats? Do you feel comfortable? How people attitude towards Russians? Because if many Russians and Ukrainians and Belarusian citizens come to this country, I suppose it will cause some bad attitude. It should cause some bad attitude if everywhere we listen Russian speech instead of Turkish speech.
Well, that's a good question. I will answer it in several parts. So what is about the attitude of locals to Russian people? Well, their attitude is quite positive. They do not. I did not face any objections from anyone, or I didn't hear about something like that, because it is officially prohibited to make that attitude. So, but it works both ways. So, if you as a tourist faced any problems here, you can call the authorities and they will help you. They will help you. No doubt with that. And and vice versa. If some of tourists start to say that we are right and they are wrong, and we do good things and they do bad things, let's say, so he will also be deported. So it's a very short treatment. They are deported. And the second part, if let's say tourists among each other, the same thing. They immediately deport. So that's why no one dares to offend anyone. We have really many people here from Russia and from Ukraine and from Belarus. We have a lot of cars with the Ukrainian plates, with Russian plates, but our kids play in one playground, and we can communicate to each other. No problem with that. If we want to communicate, we do that. And our cars may be in the same park lot, one to next to each other. So what we have here, and what I see, that's a good place that many people like, and they are in safety here. So local government cares a lot about the safety of their tourists. They want this country to be safe for tourists to come, not from only Russia, Ukraine, or Belarus, but from all over the world. You can see a lot of people from Europe, from the US as well. So everyone feels happy here. And yeah, what you can see here is really happy faces. Happy faces of locals, happy faces of tourists. So that's why people also love this place.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. It's great to see happy people around you, and that's exactly the same I can say about the Latin American countries, because in the past, a lot of Latin American countries were considered to be not very safe. Yeah, but during the last decades, they pay a lot of attention to safety of non-locals, and if people have problems. If, for example, 20 years ago, someone steals your money and you can be sure, 100% sure, you will never see your money again. Now, if you apply to police, they will find this person and they will punish this person because they want to look really good in the eyes of the community, of the international community above all. Yeah, so maybe it's the same in Turkey. Yeah, I think Turkey looks like a very safe country.
Absolutely.
And as well, for the kids as well. Any more questions? Nikolai, do you still have a question?
Yes, I have a lot. So maybe the next, maybe one note. I've been to Istanbul this May, and I saw many people, different nationalities, and they were shoulder to shoulder. They were close to each other. They were absolutely different appearance, different clothes, somebody in burqa, somebody in turban on their head, but they were happy and they communicate each other. And I recollect that time I mentioned like it's exactly how modern world should looks like. It's exactly when people from different countries, speaking different languages, when they interact with each other. In Moscow, we can't see something like this. Like it's primarily only white people with white skin. Rarely see some different nationality. It's my some note. So next question. It's my question was about contacting with some government structure, how it's problematic or not. Like they use only Turkish language, like if you have to apply for the residence, which language you use, or your real estate agent did all this work. If you go to some state clinic, what you have to communicate. If you go to school, what you have to communicate with head of local school, like not private school, but state school. What about this problem? Language problem exists in Turkey or not? Or everybody speaks English?
Well, I can say about the city of Antalya. So here we have a lot of people a lot of government officials who speak English and who speak Russian as well. And there are some, let's say, native Russian speakers in the Turkish government authorities, because a lot of Russian speaking people come here, and it's natural to have some staff that could communicate to them easily. So yes, when I came to the migration service to apply for my residence of permit, there was a person who communicated in Russian fluently, and also there were some Turkish government officials who also spoke some kind of Russian, but it was enough to understand them. So yes, and when you apply for some services in government sites, websites, there are always some, usually there are some forms in Russian language and in English language, besides Turkish. So there's no communication problems in here. But if you select, as I mentioned before, if you select some, let's say, Turkish Turkish cities where there are not so much of foreigners, that there could be some kind of problems. For example, Kayseri. This is a location where not so much foreigners, and one of people who relocated there, he returned because he was missing native speech around him.
Thank you. Yeah, and for those of you, the participants who would like to learn English or to revise something, please, you can always contact our trainers. We are very happy to help you with that. Okay, Rustam, and another question from me. So in the beginning of our interview, you said that you were looking for a place which would be the same comfortable as Moscow, but the same, again, comfortable as the Krasnodarsky region, for example, in terms of climate. So, and you have spent, well, how many? More than half year in Turkey. And what is your conclusion for the moment? Are you satisfied with this country? Is it comfortable? Does it look comfortable to you and to your family now?
Yes, what we expected here, we found it. So it met our expectations. However, we faced some adaptation issues with our kids, as I said before. So our babies, they are absolutely happy here. Nothing to worry about. But our school kids, they struggle still because it's now November. They started talking Turkish a little bit, but not so much. Yeah, so we continue, we work with this, and I was wondering, so when I came here several months, it was absolutely good life, no worries. So I was wondering, so when this period will come when I start missing Russia and so on. So, and this period started exactly that at the moment when my kids were complaining about let's return because we don't understand anything. We come to lessons, we have 8 lessons here, but we have no idea what they are about. Yeah, and that's what makes you a little bit unhappy. So, but I think that's the experience that we will have, and after we deal with it, we can stay here for a while, because our children should not experience that new country experience before they are used to this country. But after they are used to this, they can. I hope we with them will be able to travel more easily, and they will get used more easily to new environments.
Yeah, I'm sure that you can do it in no time. Yeah, good luck with that. Any more questions, guys? Because we are heading to the end of our interview. Yeah, Nikolai, please.
Okay, I have a question about your future, expectation. Do you want to stay in Turkey for a long time, or after 1 year you will go to some Latin American safe country, for instance, or some Thailand, or return back in Russia when situation change with all this war and this conflict? What are your future plans?
Well, I think about staying here for at least another year, and then decide, because our company, as I said, it offers a lot of opportunities to relocate across the world, including the United States, Canada, Europe. So yes, we have projects across the world, and I would also like to benefit from that, to see new countries, to see new cultures, and to experience, let's say, new ways of life. Because when we moved to Moscow from Ufa, we didn't think that sometimes we will relocate from Moscow. I really, really loved Moscow so much that I didn't think that I will leave it. But we left it because of our kids, and maybe there will be another triggers that we move from here. So yeah, that's it. But when you come out from your home country, you start feeling yourself like a world man. The whole world is in front of you. I think you understand what I mean. So you work for an international company. It has clients across the world, opportunities across the world. You can travel across the world, no limitations. That's a very, very good opportunity. But you have to think about your kids as well, because they cannot adapt as fast as you can. But yeah, if we are fine with this adaptation period here, I think we can start thinking about the new challenges about relocation.
Yeah. Okay, great. Sounds like a great plan. Nikolai Rasputin, I think. Yeah, another question, yeah?
Yeah, hello.
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 I would like to ask some practical question. I believe you're signing a lot of contracts, contract for renting an apartment, I know some contract for insurance and etc. So the question is, all this paper are in Turkish, I believe. Do you translate them, or how you manage that challenge?
Well,
practical.
Yes. Thank you for that question. Well, I'm very lucky in this term. I know Turkish. That's actually it's very important point that I don't have this struggling with learning Turkish because I already know it. I learned it in really many years ago. So my wife had some business trade with Turkey, and we went to Istanbul. I helped her with that, and we learned Turkish in advance. So not only our children don't know Turkish, but I know. But I'm also lucky because I'm an employee of EPAM Anywhere, and we have a service that helps with relocation and helps with adaptation as well. So we have a knowledge base about what step-by-step knowledge base what you have to do when you're in Turkey. That medical insurance, that let's say contract signing and so on. So they give you a body, let's say, a body who can help you with that organizational issues, and as well they can give you an employee with who knows Turkish. So I am an employee who knows Turkish, made some volunteer job to help my colleagues to solve their issues in Turkish. I checked contracts if they are fine and if they reflect to what they agreed with the host, with the landlord. So yes, that's a great ecosystem of people, and everyone contributes to what he can do, and everyone benefits from that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm lucky twice. I know Turkish, and I'm an EPAM Anywhere employee.
Yeah, great example for your kids as well. I think that your kids will learn Turkish in no time. So, and I think we are heading to the end of our meeting today, to the end of our very interesting conversation. If you have any questions, please type them in Telegram. Maybe if Rustem has time, he will probably try to answer them or not. But anyway, Rustem, I would like to thank you for the time and effort you took to join us today. Thank you for a wonderful, a very useful conversation, for so many recommendations that you gave to us, and and thank you for the ideas you have shared. Good luck with adaptation of your kids. As I said, I'm sure that they can manage to learn Turkish in really short time, and good luck with your career.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and colleagues, I believe you have many more questions. I typed my email, my work email here. You can reach me out with the questions about relocation to Turkey and about the positions in EPAM Anywhere. So what I can do for you is I can do an internal reference. So if you, for example, you found a position that suits your interests and fits your skills, you just send me this link to that position and your CV. I will make an internal reference, and it will shorten your way from the application to the offer. So this way, I also helped some friends of mine. So yeah, we can do that together if you want to work in an international company. Yeah, but English is important for us. But so pay attention to English courses.
Yes, English is super important to us, anytime, anywhere. Yeah, please pay your attention. And Rustem, thank you for your email and for your ability and your eagerness to help, willingness to help us, your colleagues. And thanks again. And everybody, the participants of our wonderful conversations today, I will look forward to seeing you again next week when we are going to discuss another interesting story. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you, Rustem.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, thanks
Bye,
from
thank
Ufa.
you, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. See you soon.